Welcome to the 32081, a podcast where we cover life in the St. Johns County area.
I love being a part of such a great community.
If you're looking for the latest events, school information, local sports, restaurants, real estate news, and more, you've come to the right place. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
The show starts now with your hosts, the Hardie Party.
And welcome to our first show of 2023. I'm the Todd, and we're going to kick off this year talking about different things for kids coming up this spring and summer. And one thing in particular, I think it's the hidden gem in this area, and I'm very, very excited to have Sean McClafferty on the line with us right now from NPAA. We're going to go in depth about the program. Sean, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Todd. It's an honor. Thank you very, very much.
Oh, no, it's an honor to have you on because, first of all, a lot of people have probably seen you, but they probably haven't met you because you're moving too fast. Usually when people see you at niche football games or around that, you're just buzzing all around. I think we became friends, about 2 years ago? I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
And it was just probably a rare moment that you were standing still that we got to meet each other. So, but Sean, if you could give us an overview about NPAA, because I will tell you, I didn't learn about it until Derek was going into ninth grade, and I'm kind of going, I wish I would have known about it beforehand, because a lot of people associate it with football, the kids that go from eighth grade to ninth grade, obviously, but you offer so much more than that, including weightlifting and cheerleading. Could you tell us a little bit more about the program overall?
Absolutely. Well, really, Todd, when I first met you was really when we were starting to get things going. We established as a nonprofit at the end of 2020, which was interesting, in terms of timing, but it started as football, all-star football originally. That was what we did for the first phase of NPAA, and NPAA stands for Knock Pal Area Athletics. And so it started with that. And we also had cheerleading associated with that. And we did an all-star football team for kids in St. Johns County to play against a team from Jacksonville and an all-star team from there. And we have done that now for 3 years in a row. This was a few weeks ago. We had our third annual game against Jacksonville, which was great. And that's Ricky Simon Jr. and the Between the Hashes nonprofit. We also went to a tournament and played against some teams from other states in Orlando back in 2021, also with that same organization. And that's really how we kicked off. And that was football and cheerleading, predominantly eighth graders, some mature seventh graders, and all-star football. And then people started to hear about the association, and we really wanted to expand to offer as many other sports as we could. And gradually we added eighth grade weightlifting, and then we added lacrosse, youth lacrosse. Then we've also since added travel basketball. We have on the docket for 2023, we also have plans for baseball and self-defense quarterly courses, which is kind of neat how that all transpired.
Wow, that's really cool.
With the Marine that is very interested in helping young kids with self-defense and situational awareness, those kind of things. So he's offering to do some, at a minimum, quarterly classes on that. So yeah, a lot of really neat things have come in these last couple of years. So yeah, it's exciting. And that's where we are right now. So right now we are also, the newest sport is track and field. And
that's gotten really big, hasn't it?
Yes, very quickly. Track and field, just brand new, started this week, actually, about a week ago. Ocean Water Track and Field, which affiliated with us with NPAA, and Coach Corey Yates and his wife, Casey. It is just booming already. So very exciting to see that. And that's where we are. And we're open to some other sports as well. But that's how it kind of all has come about in the last few years.
Sean, one thing, and I want to see if you agree with me on this, one thing I would classify NPAA as for kids is, I want to say, it's competitive fun. And here's why I say that. Is because a lot of these kids will go to Palencia, Pine Island, Palm Valley, VRA, different schools, even across. I know you even have some kids that came out and played football that now play for Creekside. And these kids grew up playing sometimes against each other, with each other. And you see them come to NPAA and they're playing, and they're still going all out, but they're having fun, kind of like not competing against each other so much and playing with each other during the off season and so on and so forth. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. That was actually one of my goals, was to really see kids coming from different parts of the county coming together, playing together. And just as you said, instead of playing against each other during the academy and middle school season all the time, actually getting to play together and play some other teams from outside the area it's just been a blast to see. And like you said, we've had kids come and play with us from a variety of different academies and middle schools, and we've had kids go on to play high school at a variety of places as well. So yeah, it's been really neat to see.
I think you're
all transpired, and just to see that them form some friendships and relationships off the field. It's just been really neat.
Yeah, and I think your last football class from last year had very successful freshman years across the board at Nice, at Creekside, and I know you probably had a couple at some other high schools, maybe even Ponte Vedra, that are doing very well too.
Yeah, we really have. So yeah, it's been neat to see them, just move on to, some of the next level, so to speak, at the high school level, and see them, have success there and various places. And it has been a lot of fun. And that was, a real important piece of why, when we started the nonprofit, we really wanted it to be, we wanted to have a high emphasis on, character and, academics along with athletics, and, super intense on the field, play to win, all those things, but try to do it the right way. And, try to, off the field, be solid people in the community, and build some solid friendships with kids, whether they're stay playing together in the future, or if they, go different places, but, build those friendships.
So it's funny, I didn't even give you a list of questions, so you just led me into my next one. So you talked about building community friendships, and now a lot of people might think of an athletic association. You might think of baseball, cheer, football, track, whatever, and you might think of parent volunteer coaches and so on and so forth. I think there's one real key thing you said here that's very, very unique about that, and that's the community, because in a lot of cases, I know I've been at some of your events, and people wonder, how's this going to transition to high school? How's this going to transition to middle school? And I've been amazed at the number of coaches that you've had from all different levels, especially middle school, volunteer their time to come out and help coach. So they're coaching these kids not necessarily in middle school, but they're continuing to help them out through NPAA, which can only be a benefit to everybody. And it helps them grow. And not only that, I know that during the season, if kids needed extra work or whatnot, there were a lot of times that they would go out and visit with NPAA, get some extra reps in to get better. I just think it's great that the community's rallied around this, especially the coaches that have been out there to volunteer their time from middle school and then jump out there to help out these kids at NPAA. Yeah,
it really is something to see. I mean, the commitment level from the coaches, really in all the sports. And just like you said, they have their regular season, maybe, through St. Charles Middle School Athletic Association, if there's sports, maybe, the regular season, maybe even some other leagues that they coach in. And then they jump in and volunteer with us, which, it's phenomenal, because we have such high, level coaches and things that will just volunteer. And I think it's just, I can't thank them enough. And we also have folks like yourself that, volunteered and helped in times like this, podcasts and other things on the communication side, and all the things you've done, and some photographers and videographers. It's just been awesome, and we've been recently, really starting to kind of cross into where we've played a number of games now with teams from Duval County and Putnam County last year. So it was really just been neat to forge these, relationships with other areas too, and their coaches, again, kind of see these guys, maybe they're playing against each other or in part of the year, then they're playing together for a different part of the year. This is really neat to see. And, who knows in the future, someone who knows, maybe they play in college together or beyond, who knows, depending on the sport. So yeah, it's really awesome.
Well, it's also interesting to see, because I remember when we first met, we were talking, and especially you had a lot of businesses rally around you at first, didn't you? And they're really a key to the support also here. Again, tagging on to the community about people wanting to see this get started and help you get started. the businesses really have stepped up too, haven't they?
Absolutely. We've had several corporate sponsors, as a nonprofit that really, and with our mission as it is, I'm hopeful that that's, been appealing to, we've had both individuals and companies sponsor us in a variety of ways. We've had you and your family, and we've had your company, and we've had a number of others as well. We've had law firms and restaurants, different businesses, and, really the NFL Foundation has been awesome. They've helped us since we started in 2020. They've been a key group. And then we've had former NFL players, and again, it's just been great to see kind of the community rally around it and try to support the kids, and we've done that to try to keep things as inexpensive as possible for the kids. We've really been able to, for a lot of the All-Star game teams, we've been able to do at no charge when we've done because of sponsorships like that. And for some of the other leagues where it's kind of a season-long league, it's definitely helped to offset the cost, or maybe even provide some scholarships for kids that maybe couldn't afford a full season, type of a rate that's, very common in youth sports. But because of the support, we've been able to, again, maybe allow some kids some opportunities that maybe they wouldn't have had otherwise. So I'm happy about that as well.
Okay, so I'm listening to this podcast. I'm fired up. I've got a cheerleader. I've got a football player. I got a baseball player. I got a self-defense person. I've got, I'm just fired up. I'm ready to go. Where do I go to get more information on NPAA? What's being offered? What should parents do next?
Best one stop would be just www.npaasports.org. So NPAA for Knock-Powell Area Athletics. So NPAAsports.org. All of the sports that we have available are on there. The registration dates, the seasons upcoming. Fall football and cheer actually is open now, even because it's just the nature of Pop Warner football. We're now part of Pop Warner football, which is for 30 years in Jacksonville in St. Augustine area. And that's been a really good relationship there this year that it's fairly new, but, it's very common to have spring, registration for that. But track, although it started this week, is still taking some registrations. Weightlifting, same way. They're a week in, but they're still taking some registrations if athletes want to come for the last, 5 weeks.
That's another one I've been getting a lot of questions about. That one started spreading like wildfire. Weightlifting. Yeah,
and it's really like an intro to weightlifting, and it's open to 8th graders. Anywhere in the county is welcome to be a part of that. And it gives basically foundations of weightlifting, to get them ready for high school when they start to really start lifting more heavily and readily, to just have a good foundation and just kind of get, the basics down pat and, prevent injuries, those kind of things. And, my background in physical therapy for over 20 years, that was on my mind, as well, that making sure the kids are doing, things with the right form and just doing things the right way. So, yeah, so that's a big one now. But yeah, the website's probably the best spot, and my phone number's on there as well as the director, and I can give, some more people want to give me a call, anytime. I'd be happy to talk about more of the specifics as well if they'd like. And we had some new upgrades too this year because our communications, we had a new person who her profession is in communications, Carrie Picklesheimer, and she does social media, those kind of things. She's really upgraded our site and really got it up to just really super high quality, so I'm excited about that.
Okay, so what's that address again, just so everybody has it?
Yes, www.npaasports.org.
Awesome. Sean, thank you for everything you do for the community. This is fantastic. And like I said, I can't stress enough how great this is for, while you have something out there for everybody, from my own personal experience, if you have that child that's making a transition from 8th grade to high school, great opportunity to get out there, because one of the things I think you'll agree with, Sean, is that we got so many great teenagers in the community. They can really, help inspire and bring these younger kids along and say, hey, it's a big transition, but we're here for you. Because they'll see them in the weight room, for example, in that weightlifting. They might see them walking up or something like that, because you've got kids there, probably not at the same time working out is what I'm saying. But still, I think it's a great time for kids for that transition. And also for parents, it's a great time just to sit back, enjoy, watch your kids have a great time playing with their friends around different communities and stuff. And can't say enough about the program, and you guys do a fantastic job, Sean.
Well, thank you, Todd. Thank you for your friendship and again, including us tonight. It's really an honor. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you. And I will not see you out at the field because you move too fast. So I'll just, I'll keep in touch with you through text and phone. So, all right, Sean, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Have a great evening.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the 32081. We would like to let you know that this interview was pre-recorded, of course. So when you visit NPAAsports.org, some of the programs that Sean talked about may be open for registration. Others may not, but please visit the site. And as always, if you have any questions, as Sean mentioned, please feel free to reach out and they'll be happy to help you with any questions you have. Once again, I'm the Todd, and thank you for listening to the 32081.
Thank you for listening to the 32081. We hope you enjoyed today's episode.
I love the show, guys. You're awesome.
Please don't forget to subscribe to the show so you can join us for the next episode.
I never miss an episode. It's the best.
Until next time, take care.